What's going on, everybody? It's your boy HBDZ, man. This is the Godly Vibes Only Podcast, episode 1. It's brought to you by HB Productions. I got with me
HB Chris, how y'all doing?
And this is Tasha, and we have here with us Chastity Patio Owens, the co-owner of DC Decals and the owner of Mortuary Center of Southwest Louisiana.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
what's going on, man. And like I said, this is episode 1, man. So, Shay is our first official person to come on, bless us with her presence. So, man, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, man. I want to start from the beginning. So the way I want to do it is I want people to come on, tell your testimony. I want people to get to know you from the beginning. One thing that I'm realizing is we come across so many people, but we don't truly get to know anybody anymore. Right. So I want to start from the beginning, your upbringing. And we're gonna start the tell us about your parents, your upbringing. How was that?
Okay. So I was born and raised in Jennings. I was born May 16, 1988, to Elizabeth Ann Brown and Henry Patio here in Jennings. And I was born and raised on Main Street. We was church going, cooking, we did a lot of family things. So just kind of like fast forwarding to my upbringing, no one ever worked in a funeral home. So at like 8 years old, it sparked my interest as like death. Like I was always interested in like things dying. Mm-hmm. And so it started when I was 8. I remember we had a murder here in Jennings down Main Street. Mm-hmm. And I remember asking my grandmother who take care of like the deceased or the dead people. And so she was like, well, they're called undertakers. So I'm literally running around in the house, 8 years old, saying, I want to be a undertaker. Nobody paying me any attention. So as I, kept growing, I lost a brother. He was in his 40s, and I was 12. And I remember him being at Rayfield Funeral Home off of Lake Arthur Avenue. And I went in, I had just learned to braid hair. So I braided his hair. I got the opportunity to go in and braid his hair. He was already dressed. I braided his hair. I watched them, close his eyes, put him in the casket, and I actually helped roll him into the chapel where they was going to have his service. So ever since then, Lil Ralph was there. He's from Jennings as well. So Lil Ralph is the one that told me what school he went to. He told me, that's the school you need to go to. And he was like, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. He said, but if you, keep going first, you're going to get there. Mm-hmm. So from 12 years old, I found the number to Commonwealth Institute of Funeral Service in Houston. And I never forget Miss Patsy. Miss Patsy answered the phone. She said, baby, how old are you? I said, I'm 12. I was just calling my mom, is right here. She just kind of wanted me to be responsible and call on my own, even though at 12. Mm-hmm. So I called and I spoke with Miss Patsy, and they sent a catalog. So I had my school catalog. I knew where I was going. Fast forward, me and Tasha graduated in 2006.
Y'all, I'm going to stop her because I can attest to this, that I feel like it was 9th grade year, but we were sitting in class, and this girl said she was going to be an undertaker, and we all said, that Shay go being crazy. But y'all, senior year before we even graduated, she had it on her car.
I did. I had Future Embalmer with a picture on my car. Some of like my classmates that when we was in school, in elementary school, they told me, hey, I remember you saying that, but we just thought,
she
like
was crazy.
Say, I was just crazy. Like, because I'm a child, I'm a teen, didn't go to teenage years, says, my family didn't really take me seriously, and up until when I graduated in 2006, I went directly to mortuary school. Mortuary school was hard. It wasn't hard because of the work. It was hard because my daddy had prostate cancer. Oh. So I was going back and forth from Houston to Elton, because my dad lived in Elton. Mm-hmm. So I on my right arm, I have a skull that say Undertaker. Mm-hmm. So I have that tattoo on me so I can finish school. Because I said, if I'm going to tattoo this on me, there's no way I can walk around with this on my arm and not have a story. So I prayed. That's when I really started my writing process. I would write in a notebook every day, my prayers so I can finish school. My dad can see me graduate, because I didn't know how long he had left, So fast forward, graduate from mortuary school in 07. And then from there, I got a job in Lake Charles in 08. So right after school, I did not find a job. It was hard. So I came back home and I had to wait. It literally took, you have to know someone to get you in the funeral business. Because if you're not family, they don't want to hire you or they don't want to train you. So I'm going to get to this, but I'm going to touch on it right now. That's why at Mortuary Center, I want to have at least 2 or 3 interns at a time to at least give them the internship so they can take their test and then they can venture out, because I may not be able to keep them all, but I can at least get you started because I knew how hard it was for me. If it wasn't from one of my older cousins getting me, speaking to Marcus Combry at Combry Funeral Home, I would have never had my start. So fast forward, I got the job June the 9th of 2008, which was my dad's 70th birthday. And I moved in July. My dad passed August 25th of 2008. So it's almost like he wanted to see me get to where, get the house. Yes. And when he passed away, before he passed away, I said, Daddy, I think if something happened to you, I think that I'll be able to do you, or do your funerals and embalm you. So he said, baby, if you feel you can do that, do the honors. So I had to. It was very tough. I was very close to my dad. But people was like, I knew that was hard for you. It really was not. The hardest part was to leave him at the cemetery. Leaving him, that's the hardest part, because I was able to go in the back and still tell him good morning, or Daddy, I'm here. But the minute that I left him at the cemetery, is a part of me stayed there. My daddy had said, now mind you, I was 19 at the time, and I was kind of thinking negative towards cremation. I didn't know too much about cremation. So, he had wanted to be cremated, and I told him absolutely not. Which now,
you understand it?
Now I understand it, and he could have been with me at my funeral home in the urn. So that kind of hurts me a little bit, because I don't visit him a lot, because I don't like the cemetery, believe it or not. I don't like going. But once I did my dad, it trickled down to doing other family members. I've done my best friend's child, family members. I have the Tisano family that's not too far from here. Everywhere I go, every family member passed, their first death, I've been taking care of everybody. I buried about 6 people in their family.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's amazing. One thing that you said that I like is, in the sense you use your daddy's situation as motivation. Most people would have went the other way. Used it as a crutch to not succeed, not to keep pushing. So man, I love that. When you was young, so that particular situation that you're talking about, that was the situation that just sparked everything for you to just do what you're doing now.
Yeah, 8 years old. It started at 8. I'll never forget it. 8 years old. And so moving forward, once I started working for Combry, I stayed there for about 8 years, and then I ventured off to working for Hickson Funeral Home, which is a all-white funeral home. And I was always told that, girl, they're not going to hire you. You black. They're not going to hire you because you're black.
But it's true.
Y'all, they treated me with the utmost respect there. I had more respect there than anywhere I've ever worked. And I was the first black female or black morticians who ever worked there, because of that stigma that was there that, don't go over there, they're not going to hire you. But I was like, no, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try it out, and if they say no, it's just gonna be no. And that was one of my best experiences. I learned so much in 3 months that I ended up taking a job working for another funeral home in Lake Charles that I managed. That was my first managing level at a funeral home. So I worked there for about 3.5 years. So I stayed there for 2.5 years. And then after that, I decided to stay home for a little while. And then that's when I started working for Ford and Joseph in Crowley, in Opelousas.
Oh, okay.
So I was working in Opelousas, y'all. That's from Lake Charles to Opelousas. That's 1 hour and 50 minutes.
Drive.
So I felt like that was a part of my journey of what I was praying for and fasting for. I was praying to God for my own funeral home. And so my journey, I literally felt my journey started when I started driving back and forth to Opelousas. Because that was challenging. It was raining sometimes. I would have to wake up in the dark, drive to work just to be on time. So I really felt like that was a part of to make it to where I am right now.
Yeah.
So I worked there for about 6 months. I found out, this was in 2019, so I found out I was pregnant with my son, Dash. By the way, hey, Taylor. Hey, Dash. Hey, Parker. Hey, DJ. I forgot. They were looking for that. So I had my baby boy, Dash, and me and my husband ended up getting married. Hey, David.
It's a beautiful wedding.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Y'all, she blushing talking about a husband.
Yes. Oh, my God. So from there, from Opelousas, I stayed home after we got married. That's when COVID happened. So it was crazy. Like, I wasn't expect to be pregnant. Like, that was, I wasn't trying to. But however, I felt God gave me Dash to sit me down. He came, we got married in November. COVID-19 literally came out in 2019, y'all. That was when it came out. So from 2019, and I had Dash the day the world shut down in March.
Oh.
That set me down for 2.5 years. I stayed home with my baby for 2.5 years. And during that time, I was able to write my business plan and see where I want to have my funeral home and things like that, what I needed to do. And moving on to how I got the funeral home, how we got to that point. So the beginning of it, I knew I wanted to come back home. I wanted to come to Jennings. Back in high school, Tasha, you remember they gave us those memory books that we would write in? So I wrote in there, I said I wanted to live in Lake Charles, want to be married, had 3 kids. I want to have a funeral home called Heavenly Patios, mortuary. So, I wrote it down, and I always say, when you write it down, you make it plain. So I wrote it down, literally, and I did say I wanted to work for this other funeral home, which I manage. And every single thing that I wrote down, it wasn't in the order I put it, but it was in God's order.
Yeah.
But you did it all.
Yes, it literally, I check marked everything.
Yeah. So
I ended up buying land in Jennings, which is not too far from here. And I was going to build. That was like no. It was going to be too expensive for me to build. And I was going to build downtown, which that kind of would have put in a wedge between of what I was actually trying to do. My funeral home, I pride myself on diversity. Yeah. Every time, if you hear a Matthew and Son, we automatically know that's a white funeral home. Fondale's or Combry, that's black funeral homes. I wanted a place where it was called Mortuary Center, so I can get black, white. It doesn't matter what your religion or your race. Yes, it did not matter. So from there, I was going to build. Couldn't build. I was passing up the building that I have right now. I was coming from my cousin's house in Hathaway, and I saw it at first, but it said it was a pending sale. And I'm like, man, this would be a perfect place for me to have my funeral home. But when I looked it up, it was in a pending sale. So I ended up passing about 8 months later. Something told me to go back and look, and it was on sale. Like, it was back on the market. So I called my cousin Chastity, She's a real estate agent. And I called her. I said, Nikki, this is my funeral home. Make an offer now, like tomorrow. It was late in the day. Made an offer. Fast forward. And I had, before I purchased it, I had to go through a
Underwriting.
zoning. I had to do zoning. So at first they didn't want to pass me. But however, I went back a second time and I went back with force, with people I knew in the community. You know, like why can't this be a funeral home? It's not like it's going to be, you know, it was a church before. Tell me what's the difference between a church and a funeral home?
You gonna do that services over there too?
Yeah, you have services over there. You know, it's not going to be all night. You know, we was getting backlash. Oh, it's going to cause traffic and this and that.
I remember that.
Yes.
That was the main argument.
Yes, that was the main, was the traffic. So, went back the second time and I went back with force and it passed. So from there, we purchased it. And so once we purchased it, I didn't quite have enough. And the reason why, let me touch on this too. And it was nobody but God. I did not have any investors. So I wanted investors. Every time I would get with someone, they would stand me up. Like if, nah, she just playing. She don't really want a funeral home. No, I'm serious. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it and I'm going to stick to it. So I didn't have any investors. So pretty much it was really me and my husband. Our hard work paid off. Well, I also purchased me a house at 22 years old. So for me buying that house, I had a lot of equity.
Oh, okay.
So I was able to, and I've been working for a long time. My daddy taught me how to save. I had a money save as well. So we literally put up my house. I put every drop of my savings except $2,000 to get this started. And I said, God, I trust in you. You wouldn't give me a vision if I have to trust you. You wouldn't give me this. And I know I can't depend on nobody else but me. I know what I'm capable of. You know, I know what I'm capable of. I prayed every day. So right when we were starting the renovations, I didn't want to work for anybody anymore. So that's when I ended up getting my CDL. I started driving trucks.
I remember that too.
Yeah, for about 6 months. And then right when it was about that time to kind of open up, a matter of fact, I saw a memory yesterday. It'd been a year that I quit and my funeral home opened April the 15th of 2024. So it's literally about embracing the journey that you asked for. It was not easy. It was some time I just wanted to just say, forget it. I wanted to keep my money. I didn't want to have to struggle because I never understood what struggling was. I didn't know what it was until now. I'm very humble and very blessed. I really am. I just held on to God's hand. That's what I tell my friends and, you know, other family members. I said, if y'all have faith as small as a mustard seed and you hold God's hand, he will lead you. Like, this is the true testimony. Like, from people who knowing me back then, the old me, to who I am now.
Two different people.
I am two different people.
How did it make you feel being that 8-year-old that people really just dismissed? And even us in school, because we was like, she crazy. So how did that make you feel looking like, okay, everybody think I'm crazy. Nobody really believing in what I say I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, you did it.
I think I'm still surprising people. I really do still think that some people didn't believe that I was going to get to this point. Not none of my family members or my friends, because they were my big motivators, like my family. But some people, I'll never brag and boast. But I know some people, I had a few people, I used to work at Wendy's, and one of my managers told me, you're not going to be anything because of your attitude. And I was appalled because I'm like, I didn't even tell her nothing, Natasha. You know I would have said something. And I didn't tell her nothing. But I know now that she see me, she tell me that she's proud of me. That's my fuel to my fire, knowing that people doubted me. They talked about me. You know, like, what can y'all really talk about me now? Like, what can y'all say about me now? You know?
I think it was a good to even bring awareness to other kids, because I think us that went to school with you, we just didn't know nothing about it.
Yes.
So you just
Yes.
Shay say she want to be an Undertaker. I'm thinking about WWF. Like she want to be the Undertaker.
Yes.
What she
For
want to
real.
be? I mean, looking back now, as you telling the story that you got the education for yourself, I was thinking, what did I know about that? I guess I thought people at church handled the funerals. I never thought
No,
about it.
you
It was
never
never
thought
a
about
thought that crossed my mind. So
Yeah.
even at school, Shay said it, and it was just like, Shay crazy.
They was
And
like,
went
what-
on-
what is
I think we
that?
went on to playing cards. We was playing pity pat.
No, yes, we was.
We went on to playing pity pat and
Yes.
totally disregarded what you
Yes.
said.
Yes.
I mean, it could be disheartening from some people though. Like when you're young, like dang, ain't nobody believe,
Yeah, I don't know. I
and
really,
then that make you give up a dream, but you didn't do it.
no. I really think when being a mortician, it's a calling. It's a calling because I deal with all types of deaths, all types of people, emotions. I deal with children of my children's age. I deal with grieving widows, fighting families. It's so much that I deal with, but it's a humbling experience, and I love what I do. I always tell everybody is you don't wake up and say I want to be a mortician. I never knew how much a mortician made. I never, some people choose their careers on how much they make.
Yeah.
I never knew how much we made. I really didn't. I got in it because it was a passion of mine. Now, I got in it being a mortician because a mortician is an embalmer and a funeral director.
Oh,
But
so you got to do it all.
Yes, so
Okay.
that's what a mortician is. But you could be a funeral director and not be an embalmer. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have
Gotcha.
Shania, my little cousin. She works for me, and I'm going to send her to school. But once she saw what I do, she said, "Absolutely not. I can't do it." She said, "It takes a special person
To do that.
to do."
I
what
know one
do."
person that wants to do that too. He a young kid. Josh want to do that.
Yes.
Oh, he do?
He told me about it. I said, go do it.
Yeah. Josh been how I was 8. Josh was like 7 or 8 too.
Yeah, he told me that.
Yes.
He been telling me that. I said,
Yes,
go do
he
it.
been wanting to do that. I think he's going to mortuary.
So,
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that you said, and I'm going to let you know right now, they know I'm a very spiritual person. And one thing that God has been working on me with is it's the power of the tongue. What you say affects everything.
Absolutely.
So from when you was young speaking it, it was already going to come.
Because you already believed it.
Because she already believed it and she continued to speak it no matter what nobody else said.
Yep.
And another thing that you say that embalmer and a director, so you stayed the whole funeral. You there the whole time.
Whole time.
She do that every time.
So
So-
you know me, I got a question, right? And this, so being that you got to separate I'm pretty sure the way what you believe and your work, you got to kind of separate the two. So I'm gonna ask you this question: how do you feel about when people die and you do the funeral and everything, and they say like, do they believe that everybody goes to heaven? That's the speech. And I'm telling you, I'm a truth teller. I like to tell the truth.
That's a good one.
And I'm one of those ones, and I'm like,
Be honest.
when are we going to get, because you're doing everybody a disservice by lying and saying everybody going to heaven. Because it's not just pedophiles and robbers and killers that's going to hell, that go to hell. So I know you got to
People in the
separate the two, but
church.
how do you feel about that?
So me and my other coworkers at the other funeral homes I work, we would talk about that all the time.
Oh, really?
No, for real. We would talk about it all the time because we would know this person personally.
You see, yeah.
But however, on their deathbed, if they ask God for forgiveness, they're going to, what I believe in, that they're going to go where they're going.
I believe that too,
But
if
the
they get
thing
a
about it
chance.
is, please keep it real about who that person was. If they were sassy, if they told you how they felt, if they might curse you out, keep it real. Not everybody. You can't really have a funeral and say this person is going to hell. So the other way that you can do it is make a sermon about the living. So because we aren't here to put someone in heaven or hell because we have our own transgression. But I really feel that, if you feel that person going to heaven, because everybody is not.
Yes, and that's the
Everybody's not
thing.
going there.
And that's the thing that and this is the reason why I want to do the podcast, and I'm glad you're the first person to come on and we can talk, because you deal with the living and the dead.
Yes.
Literally. And they could tell you, and that's one thing like God had been opening my heart about is like, love, this walk with God, you're going to offend. No matter what we say, no matter what we do, you're going to offend. But the greatest love I can give to you is telling you the truth.
I don't care about your feelings.
You know,
I really don't.
Yeah,
and
for
Tasha
real.
can tell you, whoever been around me that I really around can tell you, like, I'm going to try to tell you, hey, God say this, the Bible says this, don't do this. Whether you choose to do it or not is your own.
Right.
But you're never going to cross my path and say, he never told me.
Absolutely.
And I always wondered that, like, why is it like that?
So they really, every funeral I've worked, and I've worked over the past 16 years, I worked a lot. Everybody went to heaven.
That ain't funny, but it's,
No, everybody went to heaven. And I really feel if it's, someone that you feel, first off, I want to speak with the family first. I would want to speak with the family if I was a pastor. I would want to speak with the family and say, hey, I don't want to put him in heaven. I don't want to put him in hell, but I know how he passed. I would like to just preach on the living so we can get the living to their destination.
yes.
Do they have those type of discussions with the family, like about what their sermon is going to be about?
Yes. So,
I didn't know that.
yeah, especially if, let's say, if you have a service at another church that you really don't belong to, but you renting, pretty much you're paying the pastor and for their church because that person didn't belong to a church. You kind of go them and tell them, hey, this is what he or she done. This is how he lived. This is, pretty much you're going to tell them about the person, and then you actually give them, it's called an order of service. So you kind of tell them how you want the service, play by play, so it can go in the program. So, yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm just one of the ones that if I was a bad person, just go ahead and be honest.
Yeah.
Because, like, man, I'm not even going to start preaching. But I'm going to just say this, we just in times, I'm going to say it like that, where it's too much lying going on. It's too much flip-flopping. It's too much the morning they'll wake up with a gospel quote and God is this, and then I'll see a video and then I'm like,
It don't make sense.
I
understand.
And I'm like, when are we going to get to a point where I love you enough to tell you the truth? Like, you can't have it that way. What Bible, and look me out sometimes, what Bible they reading? And that's, I'm one of the ones, like, honestly, I like to mind my business, but from what I see, and this is why, like, I wanted to create this platform, this situation to sit with people, talk to people, because, like somebody said, God is not a slot machine. You can't just go to him when you need him, and then when you don't, you remove yourself or you back away. But then when you get that job or you get that car, that house, God is so good. But what about the other stuff?
Absolutely.
And that's one of the things that, and I when you came out, like, I want to ask you about that, how she felt about when you, like you say, sometimes we know the person, and I'm looking like,
it was a guy. It was a guy I worked
And we
with.
all looking in the audience at the funeral doing like this.
It was a saying this guy I used to work with. He said, when you're alive, they lie on you. And when you're dead, they lie for you because you can't talk.
I like it.
I was like, you know what? That sure is right. So it was a wise man told me that a long time ago. And, he told me that the emptiest wagon make the most noise. Which that's that one person that got so much to say, but what did you do?
What did you do?
What did you do in the process of that? But just my journey from back then, from a child growing up in Jennings, then to teenage, then adulthood, it was, I really feel like I'm being protected and through my grandma's prayers. I didn't say grandma, old school prayer, my dad's prayers.
Yes.
My mom's prayers. I feel like an old wedge of protection is protecting me because it's some situation. It's like I'm still here through this.
Yes.
And it's nobody but God.
Yes. And I be looking at a lot of stuff and I'm like, some people I be looking at, they never know I use it as motivation. Some people I look and I say, there's a calling on these people's life. Like, there's a calling on your life too. Like you said, when even you was talking about putting it here and then the God put you there and to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that when I moved back here from Leesville, and moving on this side, I realized I'm like, it really is a gap. And you don't think about it because we go to school and stuff like that, but when you graduate and you start to really see how things move, and I'm like, there's nothing here. And I tell Tasha this too, and I'm glad like you're a black business owner and it's not all about the race thing, but more people need to see that.
Yeah.
Instead of running away from Jennings, you ran back to Jennings.
I did. I really did. I didn't want to come back here. I did not want to come back here, but you can't tell God what you're not going to do.
Yes.
You know, God saw fit that I needed to be here for some reason, and I'm going to be here. Like literally, I'm here for everybody. My most customers actually come from Crowley. I don't want to say customers, but my family come from Crowley, here, Lake Charles, Elton. I even had someone all the way from Mamou.
That's a good little ways too.
Yeah, that's a good little ways. So, again, I pride myself on just being diverse. That's why we really started that community Christmas event because I wanted to. I didn't just because a track separate us. That don't mean we can't be together.
Yes, and
You want to bring unity in the community.
Yes, I wanted to bring unity in the community with other people because I always pray that. My mama always told me be a leader, not a follower.
Yes.
I want to be a leader, but I want to hold everybody's hand to where we all on the side, not me in front and y'all behind. I don't like that.
I think we all have gifts, and when people think about gifts that God give, they think about like, oh, this person can prophesy, and this person is a dreamer and things like that. But there are other gifts like gift of comfort, and as a funeral director, that's what you provide. I'm a therapist, so that's the gift I have. I can comfort people. Yeah. I can say even when we were young, which y'all saying like bridging the gap, you were always a people person. You didn't just hang with the blacks. Shay literally got along with everybody. I can't say anybody ever had an issue with Shay. So you are a people person, and then that bled into your professional.
Ain't that so
it's helping you in the community bring other races together, like at the Christmas.
Yes, that's all. So that is literally
God is using you in your gifts.
That's that's a part of my prayer. God, use me where you see fit, and bless me with people that's like-minded.
Yes,
that's going to get me where I need to go to make this happen. So the community event, and it's going to be some other things that I'm going to do in the community that I want all of us to get together to do. I just cannot do it alone. I can't do it by myself. And I know everybody have stuff going on, but
I didn't mean to cut you off. But I was telling my daddy that, and I think Tasha was present of, like, when I said that, I was like, she can't do it alone.
No.
It's time to take other people, like, to start coming in, and everybody got to kind of, in a sense, play their role. Whatever God put you there for, let's do it. We got to start doing that, man.
I think a lot of people from Jennings, because like I said, you came back. And I used to get on my nerves when people would be like, oh, Jennings is this, Jennings is that.
Jennings about what you make of it.
It's what you make it.
In your mindset.
And it'll never give better if all of us that are capable to do something
not
run
coming
away.
Back. Yes, absolutely.
Leave. We don't come back. That's not saying you have to move back, but in some type of way, give back to your community, especially if you still have. Before I had children, when I would participate in little community things, I got a brother that's 15 years younger than me, so I still got this little brother that's growing up here, and I got a niece that's growing up. So what I look like letting them grow up in the jungle, but I ain't doing nothing to assist them. And now I have children, so
exactly
we here. I got to do something to better it for my children in some type of way.
Yes.
I remember my daughter Taylor. She asked me, "Well, Mama, what did y'all do here?" Like, there's nothing here. I said, baby.
They just don't know what we didn't do.
What we did. I said,
Man,
baby, this is where we had fun,
here.
y'all.
We had
ride
fun.
down Main Street and see so many empty spots that we're losing
Yes.
to other people.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I walk my dog every day. Granted, I don't like walking them, but I do.
Yeah.
And every time I walk them, I walk the same path, and I just turn around and I look and I say, can you just imagine in 5-10 years what it's going to look like?
We have a whole street around the corner that not one person
Not
live
one person stay there. And
right here. Yeah, right here.
Not one person live on.
And I'm like,
I didn't even think about
And I say,
empty
Tasha,
houses.
when you can just feel the presence of emptiness on this side, and it's different on the other side. And I'm like, God, what is it that we could start doing
Yes.
to make people want to build on this side, come on this side?
Yes.
And as I grow closer and closer to God, I start to realize what it is. People really do judge you for the color of your skin. And let me tell you what I do. Even when I'm walking, I purposely do it. Even if they walk past me, how you doing? I'm gonna make you speak to me.
Yes.
But if you don't speak, I know how you truly feel.
That's it. Because they could be thinking the same thing as we pass by. You know what I'm saying? Thinking the same thing.
That's why you break the ice and say something.
That's it. I speak to everybody.
I do.
That's why I used to
speak.
hate when people say somebody don't speak. Cause did you speak?
Did you?
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways. You
I don't
cause
get
literally
it.
they could be thinking the same thing. Oh, this person ain't gonna
Y'all
speak to
thinking
me.
the same thing,
But
yeah.
you sitting there saying this person didn't speak to you, but did you speak
But
to
did you
them?
speak to them? Exactly. Exactly. It worked both ways.
It
People
do.
have a one-side mind. They only
You
think
know,
from
but
their
you know what it
perspective.
is too is
Everybody wanna be a victim.
Yeah.
you know, we got in this tough situation, but it's the thing, man. They look at you. I hate to say it, like, but the color of your skin.
Yeah.
They judge you by your appearance
Yeah.
without ever getting to know you.
Well, that's what I was dealing with
See?
where the funeral home is or whatever. So the funeral home is located between two houses. I have not my new neighbors because I love them to death. God, that's another thing I got to tell you how God works. So right when I purchased the building, the old neighbors I had to my left, because on the right I have Melissa mom, Miss Lisa. She didn't care what they put there. She was fine. She was even happier that I actually got it to where I can actually have the funeral home. So my neighbors on the left, when they were the main ones saying about traffic and they didn't want the funeral home, they didn't want to look outside and see in the funeral home next to them and everything else. So before they approved the zoning, they said, well, you're going to have to put a fence up. Little did they know I needed to have a fence there anyway. So I just let them. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get one. So they gave it to me, but they gave it to me under stipulations. And I really feel it's because of who I was.
Oh, they were trying to make it hard for you.
They was trying to make it hard for me. And so.
But it used to be a church.
It was a church.
So what was the difference with the traffic
that
in
was
the church?
that's what our argument was.
When you break, I'm glad you asked that, but it's clear as day what it was. I love telling the truth because might as well don't even sugarcoat it. Just say what it was.
Yeah.
Because she was black,
Yeah.
and they gonna give her a tough time and try to put every roadblock.
For sure.
But you know, the spirit of the
For sure.
devil. I ain't gonna start preaching no, but we know.
But so my next door neighbor, the previous next door neighbors, when I got the building, y'all, they have a real estate agent out here. I can't remember her name, but I bought the building. But mind you, it took me like 6, 7, 8 months for me to come up with some more money to start the renovations. So when nothing was going on, they were fine. The moment they saw people starting to go there, I'm sorry, let me back up. She didn't see nothing for about 6 months. They called, the real estate agent called me. She said, hey, Chastity, I was just wondering, are you interested in selling? I have a buyer that want to buy your building. And so I said, oh no, my renovation starts on next week. Don't y'all know they had a for sale sign next door and the people sold their house and moved?
Wow.
That fast because they didn't want me next door?
That's how
It
it be.
wasn't nothing about a funeral home.
God will put you in the place you need to be, and He'll remove some people from around you.
Man.
And
I
go
remember
rough and
praying a prayer like
yes,
that.
yes.
That instead of things, I prayed that God would end things,
Yes.
and people would decide to remove themselves from my
Theyself.
life, and I wouldn't have to do a thing, and it wouldn't be no issues or
Absolutely.
anything.
And I'm
about it,
getting
and He
chills.
removed it.
It's crazy because I'm getting chills. My new neighbors come from Mississippi. They're white. They are the best neighbors. Miss Chastity, what you need today? You need your lawn mowed? Like I needed a mailbox because I wasn't getting my mail. So he was like, Chastity, you need a mailbox. Would you like for me to do it? I said, yeah, how much you gonna charge me? And so he was like, nothing. He was like, just go get your stuff, I'll do it. Of course I paid him because that was his time. But God removed the negative and add positive because I love them to death. And anytime I have an event, they drop something for like a donation. So yeah, God is
He'll see.
Yeah, he'll move people
The
out
help
your
you
life,
need.
then It's like he'll clean your plate and give you a
He
whole
ain't gonna give
meal.
you a vision without the provisions for it.
You
Absolutely.
know, and what I love about sitting talking about this, and I want people to understand this, just because you love God and you go to God does not mean you're not going to have obstacles in the way.
That's when it come.
So many people,
That's what make the testimony
yeah,
greater.
but you see, a lot of people don't understand it. They feel like because I've given my life to God, God is going, is nothing is going to
Peaches and
happen,
cream. It's not like that. Like,
and that's why so many people walk away.
but they don't understand. Like the
'Cause they
trials
don't
and tribulations
understand.
is your training to getting you strong to have your testimony.
That's it.
And see, this
It's
is
gonna
why we have to talk more, especially for people that's weak in the world. That know their heart is, they want God, but you got to understand what comes with it.
Yeah.
Because
Be
see,
persecuted.
because see, I didn't even understand in my walk that,
Man.
and I'm not like I said, and I keep saying I'm not gonna preach it, but I'm gonna just say this: that Satan runs this world.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people that's taking their walk don't understand it. That you're going to face things, but if you keep God your source, at the end it's going to pay off. And like you were saying, and I hope they really gravitating that. I mean, I hope they really understanding what you're saying. That it just didn't happen like this.
No.
You know, you went through a
If it
whole.
was up to me, my funeral home would have been here in 2019.
You see?
2020.
Yeah.
It literally took me 5 years.
You see, and
to
they
get
don't.
here.
They don't.
But I
understand.
had to be, in order to get where I needed to go,
You had to keep pushing.
I had to keep pushing, but God had to break me down because that 5 years ago person
It's not.
is not who's sitting here right now to be able to manage a household, be a wife, be a funeral director. Literally, y'all, I pick up every person that passed away. I embalm everybody. I direct every funeral. I sit with every family. So I have to be, I literally told my mama today, I said, Mama, I need to be like 6'7" me. I said, I don't think the world can handle 6 or 7 of me. I said, but I really need an assistant. On weekdays, my phone literally ring every 20 minutes. But
Yeah.
I don't never be rude to people. I answer the phone because I don't know. I'm very personable. I don't like calling somewhere and it's an automated service. I want to talk to somebody. So just like if I'm not at the funeral home and someone call, I get Shania to give me their number. I call them from my personal line. I'm not gonna block my number. Like I want you to know that this is my personal number and you can call me anytime. You know.
Yeah,
So
I love it.
Yeah.
But I want to say this, man, and just speaking on your upbringing, it's 3 of them for sure. Your mama, Miss April, Shania. Every time your mama see me, she makes me feel like she my mama.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, like she, how
That
you
was my neighbor
doing?
for a while.
Yeah.
What you been up to? And I want to take. We're gonna come to. Matter of fact, like 2 weeks ago, she stopped. Oh, we come and take some family pictures. I was walking the dog and she stopped. Oh, we come and take some family pictures. I said, just let me know. But it's always been loving. It's always been kindness. It's always been sincere.
Yeah.
So I know where you get it from. And it's different. Like I can just tell some people how they was raised. It's just different. And with your people, it's just different. It's genuine.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't like this.
Everybody not like that.
No.
And look, I get to a point to where when I know someone is sick that I know, I don't want to call them because I don't want them to think that I'm not being, and I'm not being genuine on really checking on them. But like my mom said, if they really know you, they're going to know that you're being very genuine. And everything that I do or say or what I run, how I handle my business is through, I'm very genuine, and I can honestly say I'm humble of the process, the breaking down and the reburial of when they tried to like literally tear me apart. So this is another thing about God. Like this I gotta say this.
Say it, it's your testimony.
So when I was working at the other funeral home, I was the manager there, and I took some pictures. Caleb Allen had took pictures. He chose me to be for Black History. So I had my head wrapped and stuff, and I took some pictures and posted it. There was an issue with them. They did not want me to be in the face of their family business. But I'm the face of your funeral home. Like, they know I'm here. You know, y'all have me here.
It made me seem like they wanted you to get black
To be in the
there.
back.
Yes,
To
they
get more black
wanted
people
to
to
run it.
come,
They
bring
want to
money.
have my license on the wall, and they wanted to run it. So, American Press wanted to do an article on me, right? They shut it down.
Dang.
They shut it completely down. And I was like, why? Like, I'm trying to help y'all business. If my face is here,
It's gonna help their business.
it's going to help your business. But you know why? Because God knew I needed that same article that they wrote that's now on my wall.
It's for you.
With my funeral home, that was my story. That was for my funeral home. So now I know why that happened 5 years ago. So sometime again, I back up because I forgot to say this as well. When I got pregnant with Dash and had Dash, I was not in a space to where I wanted any more kids at that time. God saw ahead. He knew COVID was going to kill people left and right, and they didn't know what COVID was. So don't you think if I was embalming these bodies, because me, I normally go in, I be suited, my gloves on and everything, but people was dying left and right. They didn't know. I really honestly think if God didn't sit me down, I wouldn't sit right here. I probably would be gone because I would have caught it. I have a chronic high blood pressure, and you know that attack COVID was worse at the beginning for people with diabetes and high blood pressure. So I really think that if it wasn't from Dash, God giving me Dash and sitting me down, I wouldn't be here today. I guarantee I would be dead. I really would, and I thank God every day for my son.
Even before you saying that, when you say, I say he needed to sit her down, and sometimes sometimes you got to be sat down. And you think it's a bad thing, like, wow, I'm here.
It's really not.
I ain't got
That's
nothing.
the thing.
So many days and nights.
But look what you were able also to get done in that time.
Yes, I couldn't get it done, Tasha. I had to literally, I was in my room at my house, no TV, no kids. David wasn't there. And I just cried out and I just started writing. Because I kept procrastinating over and over about this. Like when you get to a point of doing your business plan, it's like, man, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. But that's nobody but the devil.
Yeah, it is.
You just got to keep going and keep the faith.
And like I said, man, I'm gonna continue to say I love it because one of the things that I love for people to come tell their story, because like I said, if you wouldn't come here and tell it, I wouldn't know half of the stuff that you went through, because people only see when you post the beginning and then when you say something about the end. They don't know all the little things that goes on in between. And one of the things that I love is that you're a woman doing this. I don't know too many black women that's really trying to do their own thing.
Right.
I know the typical things, and I don't want to discredit any businesses that does it, but it's different. Like to be what Tasha does and what you're doing, I don't know too many.
No.
And I don't know too many that's gonna actually put God on the forefront of it. Most people gonna do something, but they gonna like, I don't want to say too much God stuff. I don't put God in it because I don't want it to affect my business.
Man, that's the way you get your business is through God. If you can't hear, you're not for me.
That's
Because I got a story. Every time when they ask me something about my business or how you got started and everything, my investor was God. Like that's who got me here. Like literally, coming up, going back to my childhood, I had trouble reading and spelling.
Oh wow, okay.
My mom nor my dad graduated high school. So I had a lot of help from Miss Jouney, Jill mom. Jill mom tutored me, and Miss Kathy Cradle, who just passed away. So they would tutor me. I lacked nothing. My major thing, I need to get David to make me a shirt. I lacked nothing even as a child. So I did a lot of things. I was mature ahead of time because I had to literally take care of things for my mom. So when we had hurricanes and stuff, or we was getting FEMA or Red Cross or whatever, I was maybe 11, 12, 13, calling these people, doing certain things. So I already knew how to be responsible at an early age because, my mom kind of depended on me a little while. But I had trouble with reading and spelling growing up, but I defeated the odds. I finished school because mom and dad did not. I went to, I actually have a associate's degree in business management.
Okay.
I'll be forgetting about that too. So I went back to school and got an associate's degree. I'm over school. I don't want to do. I'm not going back to school. I don't need no more education. Only thing I want to do is get my notary license. And I know that's going to be. I started it, And that's one thing I started and didn't finish, but I'm gonna go back.
And now that you saying all these things, and I always tell Tasha, and I always be trying to point to her is, young ladies need to see y'all. They need to know that they can come talk to y'all, and like I said, love to tell y'all stories. So you know what? Maybe they be like, I watched this, and I want to come. I may not want to do what you're doing, but I still want to come talk to you.
Absolutely.
And so many times, and I'm looking at it from this. I see so many women, just young ladies, just struggling, lost, don't know what they want to do, and they need to see success stories
For sure.
because if y'all don't speak it and say it, how they gonna feel comfortable coming to y'all?
Right. And me and Tasha, we already in a male-dominant industry, and I know for sure me. Like I said, we don't have really that many. So in Jeff Davis Parish, I'm the only one.
Oh, wow.
Only
Okay.
female. I'm the first black female mortician in Jeff Davis Parish. I'm not sure about the white community. I'm not sure. But I know that. And in Calcasieu Parish, we have 2 licensed women. And I have my intern. She's going to be licensed really soon. She does. Her name is Chancey. She does really well. So she's going to be the next female. So I've noticed a lot of female wanting to be a mortician. I follow these groups and I see a lot of women. They have 2 women in Tennessee and they do really well. And I feel more families is going to gravitate to a lady because we're more compassionate. I remember when I was working, at Combry, and I was working around a lot of men. So I was stern. Like they would ask me, have you been in the military? And I was like, no. I said, nah, y'all pair yourselves in twos. It wasn't no laughing and stuff. But when I got to Hickson, they say you need to be a little bit more lighter, like have more compassion. So I learned that there. So I literally first off, I never wanted to work at 2 and 3, 4 different funeral homes. I
needed something from each one.
I needed something. I pulled something from each one and created my own.
I love it, man. That's one thing like I'm really trying to be big on is pushing women to get out and speak. Like, y'all, I know when it comes to business, y'all gonna kill it on that end. But I'm trying to push women to get up and speak, man. Because I got 2 little girls, and I think once I had them, that's when it really opened my eyes. Like, it's time to push these women to get out and speak so it can inspire so many others.
Cause there ain't really too many women role models out like that. You got
It's not.
Man, you got the rappers running the women. They running the women now. A lot of them. For real, like the female rappers, man.
No, for real. I just think that I actually have a lot of people that inbox me wanting to be a mortician, or like I had this guy. He have videos. He posts videos of him praying. His name is Alphonse. I don't know him from Adam or Eve, honestly. But he inboxed me and say, I've been watching you. I'm all the way in Memphis, Tennessee. And I motivated him through just a video and just talking to him. So I have a lot of male and female that literally follow. Like, y'all, last night I was looking on my email and it says requesting an interview with Chastity Shay Owen. So when I pull it up, it's a podcast through Charlemagne the God, his platform. And it's a girl named Ebony. And she wants me to do a podcast with her because of women entrepreneurship and speaking about that. So I wouldn't mind doing something during the summer to where I'm getting in the next 3 months, I always do a calendar and I hold these different events at the funeral home. So sometime I do insurance, sometime I might do lawyers. I had 4 women, lady lawyers that came talking about people's estate, their trust, disability, like what do you do once they pass away, and that's something that they really don't discuss. They don't discuss about insurance. They don't, discuss about so many different things, and I want to bring that to the community. It don't really have to be people from Jennings, Lake Charles, Crowley, anybody they feel that they need this information, they can come. So I think in May for my birthday, I'm going to have this big event at the funeral home that's going to call for women empowerment.
Okay.
I think that would be great.
Yeah, it would. And I mean, like, if you need somebody to come record or whatever, like, just let me know. I think like that's my journey now. Man, like I always talk to my mom all the time, motivating them. We finna do something. We trying to get some stuff together now, and I'm just on a mission to get as many souls to God. But at the same time, I know I have to use something to pull them in.
For sure.
And I always tell Tasha, I say, and she probably know I be getting on her nerves. I'm like, you do the therapy thing. Try to mix God in it some kind of way. And I know she be sitting down and explaining stuff to me, how that stuff go. But I'm like, you got to. God has to be the source of whatever it is that you do, because
That's the truth.
people, I tell people, it's a spiritual battle.
It is.
Every day.
Everything that we do is spiritual battle, man. But I just see people hurting. I'm gonna just say it like that, man. And I'm trying to be real big on pulling people in and pushing. Don't look at the color of my skin. Just get to know me. Get to know my heart. Get to know the things that I want to do, that I can do, and you have no idea what we can do.
Absolutely.
So I'm real big on trying to push women. Tasha know I be getting on her nerves. I know I do. I know I be getting on her nerves, but I see greatness in her to do more. To get up, and she not a speaker like this, but I try to push her to
like
get
to talk, believe it or
never
not.
did. Never did.
Even though I'm a therapist, I like to talk.
But
Once
Darius,
you-
you know,
I
y'all
get-
been together for a long time.
Long
She been
time.
I
like
don't
that.
do much talking.
But I'm gonna tell
I
you
say
the
what
very
got to
thing you
be
don't like
said,
doing,
and
that's
I'm
what's gonna get you where you need to
No,
go.
for real. That's the truth.
And that's the truth. And I say, I'm a talker behind closed doors. I don't really want to do this, but I never understood why God wanted me to do it. And as I start to see more things, God to say, use this tool to pull people in, to let people talk, because you may see somebody lashing out, but you don't know why. You may see somebody, they may feel like therapy is their only way of getting on social media and doing things, and you looking like, you wouldn't do it, but that's the only thing that they know. But if you get a chance to pull them in and talk to them, you be like, now I understand your story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you show them something different, they'll inbox you, then you'll start finding out. I get it all the time.
But we have to speak, man. I'm telling you, bro, the power of videoing is power. Listen, it's powerful.
But you gotta watch
When
what
you could
say,
take
too.
them 3-4 minutes, make a video, put it out there, it's powerful. And people start to over time feel like they know you and they can open up. And Tasha's skill set would help. Shay's skill set would help. Come together. Okay, just because I do this and you do this doesn't mean we, like you say, do a women's empowerment thing. Because Shay not gonna be able to do it by herself.
Yeah.
So it takes a village. But
See, and then not only that, when people lose a loved one, they need a therapist after.
thank
So
you.
it kind of all go like hand in hand. Like my business, my printing company goes hand in hand with my funeral home.
See?
It prints the programs, it prints everything for the funeral home. And then right after that, I'll give the family a car, because like some people really cannot move on or cope with the loss of a love, like especially like y'all. Normally back then, so I've been doing this for 16 years now, almost 17. And I normally can count on the season. So I'll say maybe 12, 13 years ago, I can say, okay, at the end of the year, it's going to be older people that's going to pass away. Oh, well, this is the season for murder-suicide. Oh, we'll get a couple of kids around this time. Now,
It's all over the
it's
place.
unbearable. It's all over the place. You have young, old, cancer, murder. You have suicides. You have all kind of, and it's not a season anymore. Just like how it is outside, you're hot, and then it's cold
It's
for 2
everything.
days. That's exactly how it is. The seasons are mixed, so it doesn't. Death literally does not have any age. It does not have any age on it anymore.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad that you saying that, because so many times I see people sit there and say, "Oh, you're young, you got time."
Oh no,
We don't
No,
know.
When I say if you want to do something, do it, because tomorrow is not promised. Like it can go like this. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Miss Natalie when she passed. Miss Natalie came to the funeral home 5 days before she passed. She just wanted to talk to me, see about some things, getting her stuff, together. And Miss Natalie was so full of life. She helped us with all of our stuff. She helped us with all our events. She was so outgoing and giving me ideas and different things like that. And then literally 5 days later.
She was. You know what's crazy? The day before Miss Natalie passed, she had scheduled some pictures because they was coming to do Christmas pictures, I want to say.
Oh my God.
And she had paid her deposit and everything. And I was sitting in there waiting. I'm like, Miss Natalie be on time. I guess she not coming. As soon as I walk in the house, my mama told me she died, and I'm like,
The
wow,
crazy thing, I seen
that
it.
quick.
What?
I seen it at the
I was
party.
supposed to do her. I was gonna do their family pictures.
I was at the party, and the crazy part about it is, and what I posted on Facebook, how life is so short. If you say you're gonna go visit someone, call someone, text, y'all, it literally take like 2-3 seconds just to say, "Hey, how you doing?" through a text message. I just walked past her, I waved like this, and she waved back and smiled. Normally, I would have went up to her and gave her a hug, and now I'm like, dang, I should have gave her a hug.
Yes.
Literally 10 hours later, she was gone.
And when I
then-
seen it, I'm like, what?
And people that you have relationships with, or even if you had odds with somebody, and then they pass away, you be thinking afterwards, like, so that's when Jesney died. That's how I was. I was like, me and Jesney was over there fussing over nothing, and I was being stubborn. And then she passed away.
That was horrible. That was horrible.
And
Her
unexpected,
baby.
yeah, young, her and her baby.
Yep, in a bad car accident. I would have never thought.
I got that phone call. I about tore my little heart up.
Yeah.
That was my girl. Boy.
Yeah, man.
Full of life, too.
Full of life. Full of life.
So silly.
Yeah, man.
You know, yeah. I mean, it's one of the ones where it's when you think about death. Because the last funeral I went to was my grandma's funeral, and look how long ago that was. I haven't been to a funeral since.
I'm about to say.
I been gone. I haven't been to a funeral. I don't know. I lie.
You did too.
I did one more. I did because I was forced. One in Bro Bridge. Who else?
Uncle
Say he
Boy.
was forced.
I didn't go.
Well, I went.
You
It was
went.
me. It was me.
So since my grandmother, I've been to one more, and I didn't go look at the body. I just sat in the back, and it was only because I was like, I don't want to remember my grandma this way.
Yep.
I got to that's my last image of you, is this, and I'm like, since then I'm
I
like,
got to a point where, I don't go up front and look. I think the last body I actually looked at was Taylor brother. And only because I walked up there with her and looking at him, they looked so much alike that it freaked me out.
Oh my God.
And so I might go up there, but I don't look.
Yeah. I have a friend that's like that too. See, of course, I'm a little different. You know, I want to take care of you so I can put that last finishing touch of you. Like, to me, that's my last thing I can do for you is to make you look pretty and presentable and just give you all of what you wanted. Like, I took with Miss Natalie's service. I don't know if y'all seen. I took pictures. Y'all saw.
I seen the video and stuff. Yeah.
That was her personality. She didn't tell me she wanted that, but I know Miss Natalie. So when I always ask the family. I try to get very personal with them. Like, hey, what's their favorite color? Did they have a favorite sport? You know, did they like fishing? Did they have a lot of fishing rods? Like, whatever. I want it to be a celebration of life, not just a regular, traditional, boring funeral. It doesn't have to be traditional.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be traditional. So, yeah.
But before we go, I just want to say, it was a blessing to have you here. I truly thank you for taking. You could have been anywhere, but you took time to come here.
Absolutely.
I definitely want at some point want to have you come back because I want your voice to be continuously being heard, not just from what people see on social media, but to actually get to hear you.
The way they can get to know you.
Yeah, because at some point I want to have just women sitting here. Just something on my heart that God just been telling me, like, uplift the women. Get women together. Yeah. Because it hurts my, like I said, and I'm not going to go on around whatever, but it hurts my heart to see so many young girls just lost.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if they just had somebody to just talk to them, pour into them, how totally different it would be. Because I'm tired of the same cycle, man. And I know we can't change everything, but we can change a few.
We can start.
We can start.
As long as they have a starting place, it's for them to grasp
and a lot of them
take it from there.
And a lot of them heart is open for it.
For sure.
Because I even seen people sometimes, I'm looking for a therapist, I'm looking for this, and I'm like, they don't know what they know they want to start, they just don't know where.
Good job on getting that started with your daughter. Shout out Taylor's Lemonade Stand. But for real, you have already with her at a young age. She got 2 businesses.
Lip balm and lemonade.
Lemonade stand. So shout out to Taylor and you, David, Shania, all of y'all for kind of making this a family thing.
Yeah, I literally have all my family working. I always say they don't work for me. We work together because without them, I couldn't do anything.
Build what you build.
So my mom, she come in and pretty much my mama do what she wants. My mama retired. She might have dash one day, and then I walk in like I was leaving out of the funeral home. She got a mop in her hand, like she's mopping the funeral home. She just so proud of me. I'm her only child. Like I can feel her proudness, you know.
Yes.
And if I don't have it, discourage her. If I'm getting discouraged, because you know, like a funeral home, we literally sometimes be dead. Like nobody passed, or if they pass, they might not always choose mortuary center. And I respect, let me say this, I respect, just because we might speak, you might say you're proud, I don't expect to get everybody from Jennings. Okay, I'm just getting here, yeah. You know, I know they have another funeral home. I love them there as well. We take care of each other. If I need something, they're there for me, vice versa. So, you know, I kind of get discouraged, but I don't let it linger for too long because that is not of God. Discouragement, depression, it is not of God, and my mama always remind me of that. So I got Shania, my husband. Taylor come make removals with me. She come help me. Dash, he helps in his own little way, making a mess at the funeral home. But I just wanted to be the one that I can like motivate my family to do something, because I have a lot of talent in my family. My cousin Donna can do some makeup, y'all. Like she did Miss Natalie makeup, and she's very talented, and I want her to use her gift. You know, so anybody that has a desire to do something, wanting to do something, just pray about it, write it down, take a picture of it, put it in your Bible, put it under your pillow. Just long as you write it down and make it plain and say it over and over, God is going to hear you and He's going to guide you guys. I promise. This is my testimony.
Writing
my
it down
story.
and praying does.
Right? Yes, it does. And I do want to write a book, Tasha. I want to get with you about that because I want to start literally with my childhood. I really don't talk about my actual childhood from, you know, being 2 and 3 on up to an adult or whatever. I don't really talk about it, but I want them to know literally how it started to where I am now. So I'm gonna get with you. I do want to write a book.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love Black ownership. I love to see people wanting to change, want to push change. Because I be praying all the time that at some point Tasha has her own business. And I know what her goals and dreams are. And like I said, to see you living your goals and dreams, because we don't have a lot of Black business owners. We don't. So what do they have to look like? Yeah. What motivation do they have?
True. And just to be young, like I'm 36. And I'm the youngest out of, I was trying to get the state to tell me, but I'm like one of a few women that owns their funeral home in the state of Louisiana that's like in their 30s, like 36 years old. So, you know, I'm really proud of myself. I don't really brag about it. You know, I don't really. My mama told me the other day, I said, Mama, people be coming up to me, they be like, oh, I'm so proud of you, girl, you doing this. I don't boast. I'm hard. It's not easy for me to accept what you call it, like people
compliments and
yes, it's very hard. My mama said, well, you need to go see a therapist because something wrong with you, because they're literally telling you you're doing great, you're doing good. I was like, well, what I do for people is not for any gain of anybody seeing me doing this or publicity or anything like that. I'm literally genuinely helping a person. Like when I help somebody, don't take no pictures, don't put it on Facebook. You don't need to know I did anything. It's not an I.
You sound like Tasha. Because I swear, like sometimes I would go look at the account. I'm like, well, who this? I donated this. I donated this. I donated this. And I'm like,
Tasha be donating.
Okay.
I get a lot of messages from people too. Just I need this, and
I don't even ask them why. You can say you need a few, and if I have it, I'll just send it. And if they try to pay me back, I'll be like, go.
That's just
buy that baby some
having a good heart. It could be somebody I know for a fact didn't used to like me, or we had problems. If they come ask me for some help, I'ma help them.
Absolutely, that's how I am too. I'll help anybody.
And
it don't matter.
And I tell people that's what sets you apart from a lot of people.
Yep.
That your heart is just pure, genuine just to help. And I've been around whites, I've been around blacks, and I can just, I don't know, maybe it's a gift from God. I can just tell when people
Genuine.
they like, oh, you're
That's
not
the-
genuine about it, but you just probably talking to me because you need me
Yeah.
at this particular time, and then from now I'm not gonna hear from you no more.
That's that
But-
discerning.
Yeah,
spirit.
but one thing God told me, and don't let them break you.
Absolutely.
Continue being you.
You.
Cause I spoke to people, I did this, cause I had an episode. I'm like, God, I done took pictures for everybody. Why they don't come ask me about they seen you shoot y'all did this, whatever? But God said, don't worry about it, cause one, I'ma always take care of you, and what's for
You're
you
lacking
is for
nothing.
you. But it's okay.
Yes.
Just continue being you. Like, cause I said, I speak to people, I purpose like, hey, how you? And sometimes they'll walk right past me.
Yep.
And God said, just continue
Continue.
being you
Don't let
who you
nobody
are.
change
Yes.
you.
Yes. And it was a few times that I've gotten upset, which I would
Mhm.
never let. You would get upset, but that's behind closed doors.
Yes.
And my mom would be like, "Girl, don't. I get it, but don't worry about it." I asked God to not harden my heart.
Yes.
Not harden my heart, because if my heart would be hardened from some people that I thought would support that didn't support, or whatever the case may be, even with the t-shirt, it ain't even nothing to do with the funeral home. Just with my t-shirt business, I don't get a lot of business from Jennings. They're not my main. They are not my main customers. Like literally, it's Lake Charles and other surrounding areas. A stranger
Well,
support me more
facts.
than someone that I knew
Yes.
or grew up. And it's still, y'all, I still smile, still hug, still talk to them, say hello, you need something. And that's what I still want to have a good heart.
And I know the type of person you are. I know you, even some of the things that you don't have to do, you do it.
Yep.
And I'm the same way. And I'm like, God, I'm not only doing what they ask, but I'm giving them extra. Why they not?
And I be telling them to stop.
And Tasha be like, I don't know why you doing it, but that's just me. So say,
Yeah.
Bree, if you come and you get a package of 8 pictures, I might throw 12 in there.
Yeah.
Just-
you always take care of
Yeah,
me.
like just because
I know
it's
I
me.
be getting on your nerves.
So I had to, no, because I love it, and I know if I was to ever ask you,
you already know.
you would, if you could do it like you said, you would.
Yep.
Like some people I just come across, I just know. So I don't be tripping. I'm like, it's gonna take me an extra 15, 20 minutes. I might as well just bless
I
her
be
with it.
fussing at them, yeah.
And she do. And I had
Because
to,
sometimes dares do it with everybody. And sometimes you have to make a separation with business.
I know.
And you got to
And you got to stick to your own rules that you
and,
made.
and that's what I be getting on them about. I say, now you know
Yeah.
your rule is this.
Yes.
And you're doing this. And
But
it's
I'll
going
be
to take
like, but
X amount of time.
That's my
And-
big customer, though. You know what I'm saying? I try to take care of everybody, but the ones that support you no matter what, that's the ones you really want to put more in and give them a
Yes.
little extra, or just to let them know I appreciate you from being that with me for very first time.
Yes.
So
Cause I know what you mean about. Cause I would get in I used to. I don't care no more. God just removed that from me.
Yes.
I would be in my. I'm like, y'all come. Oh man, your pictures is so amazing. I love this.
Yeah,
and
but
you,
why
and the
you
way you
over
do
there,
this.
though?
And I'm like, I'm right here.
Yeah.
The
No,
same
it's-
thing they can do, I can do probably, if not better.
yeah,
It's
You
when
know-
they say, hey, y'all know any photographers?
That too.
I be looking at that, be all right.
And I'm like, it's cool. God said, just understand it.
Mm-hmm.
What's for you gonna be for you. And I had to
Right.
really get out my feelings because I ain't gonna lie, for a while. Like I'd be like, man, I don't
it
feel
get
like
discouraging.
it does, because especially when they talk to you, they see you. Oh, I'm coming to take some pictures. I'm looking at this, and the next thing you know, I look. Oh, they went over.
Like, really?
Oh, okay. I understand. So now I just be talking to God. Sometimes I say, who you talking to? And you better stop talking to yourself. But I'm like, God is my
I have
therapist.
to admit you.
I talk to God about everything. I say, God, I understand. I get it. Like
Yeah.
I truly get stuff now to the point where like I'm not fazed by like a lot of stuff don't bother me unless it's my kids or
And
you know,
everything is not your assignment. I even know
Yes.
that, like in the mental health field, I'm not a fit for everybody. I tell every client that I get, the ones that are wary about doing therapy, I say, well, look, we're gonna try this out. If I ain't working out for you, call the office and request somebody else, because it has to be a fit. I don't take offense to it.
Yeah.
Just go on. Even when people are looking for therapists, I don't say, hey, come to my company and I make a list for them. I take out of my time. I'll research what they looking for. If it's for a certain specialty, ask them, hey, what insurance you with? And I don't ever say, come here because this is where I work.
Yeah.
This is what's out here.
It's all the
See
options,
what work
choose
for
one.
you. And if you don't like one, don't give up on the therapy. Try the next one.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. I truly give everything to God. I ain't lying, like everything, even when I can feel cause it's always a battle. Like you see, God said, just try to remove your emotion from it. You know, and before we go, cause I'm gonna get it a little quick, but like when I started taking pictures at the school, I was like, man, I'm gonna be taking pictures here. I'm about to get nothing but the business cause they gonna see the work I do. And it didn't go that way. And it got discouraging for a while, but then I had to look at it like, maybe my path is, just because you love doing something, that wasn't my assignment. It might not be what I'm supposed to be doing.
For sure.
So then I come full circle and I'm like, you know what? God, what's for me is gonna happen, but guess what? I'm finna just dig deep into your word and start doing this.
For sure.
And Tasha be like, ain't no money in this, but this is what God has called me. And eventually, if the money, I always say not, if it's gonna come, it's gonna come.
It's gonna come.
Yeah, it got money
And
in
then
it.
you're placed everywhere, like with the schools. The kids love you, and you inspire so many of them. And like you say, the people you've inspired that come in your inbox, you never know that your assignment may not be really visible. And then you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's why I needed to do that. That's why I needed to be there. I helped this person through
and
doing this.
I don't hold. That's what I had to work through when somebody don't use me or somebody don't buy a shirt or whatever. They don't come to us. It's like I don't hold it dear to my heart anymore because just because a person say they're proud of it, that don't mean they're gonna use you. And
Yes.
my mama always say, you lose one, you gain 2 and 3. That's even when my mama dead and gone, I'ma always remember that. And literally, when she says that, that actually happens. You know, I get 2 and 3 customers, you know, wanting big orders of shirts, or you know, I get a call at the funeral home or whatever it may be. Like,
Yeah, and then before you go, I'm gonna say this because as we talking about this, I remember God telling me something. He said, they didn't come to you, they went to somebody else. But guess what? That person they went to, you don't know their story. You don't know what it took for them to get there. So you mad because they went to this other person, but that person then probably went through some trials and tribulations to get there. So just champion they win.
for sure.
Champion their success. And that's one thing I do now.
Enough
Like
for everybody.
yeah, I champion everybody's success. But before we go, Shay, I'm gonna say, man, I truly thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
It's gonna be the first a minute because the way my brain work, I be thinking about all kind of stuff and trying to put stuff together. Because one thing I said is, I can be part of something, but not in front of it. So it may be to just produce something, but I'll figure it out. But before we go, is it anything that you want to say to anybody out there that? Matter of fact, let's do this. Give them your business stuff, where they could find you.
Okay.
Like you said, from the shirts to the mortuary business. Just let them know where they can find you.
Okay, so you can find DC Decals on Instagram and Facebook. You can inbox us. You can call us 337-550-4451 and place your orders. We do have a website, but we only do it by the website by season. So like it's Mardi Gras season. So I'll be posting the Mardi Gras site up tomorrow. As far as the funeral home goes, we are at 16388 Highway 26 in Jennings. It's Mortuary Center, Southwest Louisiana. The phone number is 337-368-8580. We pride ourselves on diversity. We pride ourselves on being diverse and taking care of any religion, any race. It doesn't matter. We're there to help you and with affordability. So yeah, I'm Chastity Shea Patio Owens, and I'm the owner of the funeral home and part owner with my husband David Owens with DC Decals. And anything you need, y'all call us.
So it's your boy DZ. We signing out.
Christopher, I'm out.
Tasha.
And so, like I said, man, we out. I thank Shay for coming again. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.